Going on one time with my family back in Michigan. Sorry about that. We're getting some things established in Michigan, but back home in Flint, where I'm from. So, but anyway, family, peace, 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 love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, all that good stuff. But before I get into that, man, I just want to highlight what I'm going to go over today. But I'm going to go over the Israel and see the thing I talk about with scholarship and academia, where us Moorish Americans, we don't get caught up in anger because it's scholarship. And I tell brothers and sisters, nothing is hidden. It just wasn't taught. So we keep things in the proper context. And when someone try to use words over you, that's linguistic apartheid. And so we destroy that. And that's why the only problem I say where I'm on both sides, because I went to academia. I study academia. I have a bachelor's and a master's. And I'm not just saying it like I'm somebody. We all can do it, you know. And I'm right now I'm proceeding my Juris Doctor degree in Indigenous People Law and Policy. So it's just something when I speak of. I'm not here to say I'm all knowing. I'm saying research what I'm saying and keep things in the proper context. I'm not coming from no religion. I know who I am. I'm a Moorish American. I know who my God is. I challenge you to know who your God is. I'm not here to promulgate nothing. You know, we keep that clear. You know, it's always different sides and people can have different arguments on both perspectives. You know, but if that's so, then so be it. So let's keep things clear in a proper context when we talk about things. Because yes, it's two sides. Like for instance, when we're talking about the Ra and the El, and we're breaking it down, and you have other sides, or can I say other views that say, well, it's just like Mississippi, the IS. And I say, well, my brother, I understand your perspective, but that's not in the proper context. And you can't get me caught up in linguistic apartheid because we're talking about a particular subject. So let's just keep certain things in the proper context when we go over things and when we talk about laws. And I say, listen, man, when we talk about treaties and things, I'm not talking about something that I wrote. Treaties, this stuff is older than me and you. So when I talk about treaties, when I read things to brothers and sisters, when I say I'm a Moorish American, and when I read in the DAP books and I tell brothers, this is not no get out of jail free card. We are law-abiding citizens, man. Don't let no one tell you no different. To take one place in the world, one must of necessity be determined to act accordingly to law. That's why I said we are in the law, we're by the law, and we're with the law. We don't break laws. Come on, bro, we got to understand this. But of necessity to be determined to act according to law, only those that abide within the law, our law-abiding citizens, can demand equal protection and application of lawful directives to the body, the people, and government, which are regulated by the law of the land, and to which the laws give life. All others, criminals, aliens, undesirables, etc., exist outside the sheltering parameters of the law, which are considered outlaws. Are classified and treated as enemies of the peace and retain the bearers' rights under this Constitution. Family, that's why certain things we must understand. We, the people of the United States of America, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, secure the blessings of liberty to prosperity. Come on, man. We establish this Constitution. Come on, man. To ourselves. To ourselves. I mean, that's why I say you got to read. To ourselves and our prosperity. We don't understand. We don't read. And that's what I tell brothers. I say, man, we so busy arguing. We so busy saying what's something. I said, listen, man, I'm not here to argue with you. I'm not telling you when you read, when you in school, things are over your head. When they put you in a jurisdiction, they say person, place, or thing. How can you be in a jurisdiction as an adjective? How can a person be in the same jurisdiction as a place and a thing? That's ownership. That's when I call westernized European pseudo-academia. I'm not coming from no biased perspective. Man, I have the same, man, if I can show you my degree, I went to the academia, man. I don't have no fake degrees. I got a bachelor's and a master's, and I'm getting my PhD, and I'm getting my doctorate in law. I mean, it's just what it is. And oh, you see Bay on my last one, I'm getting ready to get my bachelor's changed to Bay on it. It's just what it is, man. And people be trying to tell us education ain't us. Yes, it is. We are education. And then I'll be seeing unlearned Negro more. Oh, you went to college, that make you special. No, I didn't say that make me special. I ain't never said that make me special. What it said is I want to study. When everybody be talking about the art of war, Sun Tzu, I say, well, the art of war is understanding the perspective and understanding where it's coming from. Where I say I come from all law. I don't come from no perspective, man. The true essence of more science of this is all law. That's what Noble Drew Ali brought. Elijah Muhammad know it. Farrakhan know it. This is just facts, man. This man was took out of history for a particular reason. I'm not here to come from no biasness, man. When I see the so-called Hebrew Israelites on the corner arguing, I say, brother, why are you arguing? The books speak. Their pen. Their pen. Their pen. Their pen. The encyclopedias, brother, be dropping encyclopedias, man. I do lectures on college campuses. I destroy those encyclopedias. George G. James wrote a book called The Stolen Legacy. All Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, they all studied in Egypt. They all was killed for knowing the science, man. This is facts. This is not me. So I don't understand what people be saying. I just study history, man. This is my life. I love what I do. I'm a law-abiding citizen. And if this is not important to you, I don't even see why a person would be on my page. I really don't. I really don't. I'm not here to argue with no one. I'm just here to let you know that I know who I am. I challenge you to know who you are. And when I talk about treaties and things, this stuff was written, man. This ain't got nothing to do with me coming from no perspective. If you follow my lectures when I was talking about the Africans in Britain, when I showed you from the ancient and modern Britons, when I showed you all those books to show you, when I get these other history books in front of museums, when I show you how we were all over, and it's nothing to even be arguing about. These were treaties and things that was written. So before I even get into this Israel, I'm gonna break something down for brothers and sisters, and I just challenge you to research it for yourself. I just told you, Moors, we are law-abiding citizens. We're not here to break no law. We get that right. Brothers that's in houses squatting, that ain't got nothing to do with me. That's criminal stuff. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That ain't got nothing to do with more science. It's loopholes and everything, but that's not more science. We understand who we are, how to navigate on this earth plane. This is a higher science. This is no religious dogma. So when brothers going around saying, do you got to be a Muslim to be a Moor? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We study all law. I mean, this is your nationality and identification card of the Moorish Science Temple of Americas and birthrights for the Moorish Americas, etc. We honor all divine prophets, Jesus, which is Yahshua, Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius. May the blessings of God, our Father, Allah, which is all law, arm, leg, arm, head. That's what I talk about when I say Allah. When I say Islam, I mean I, self-law and master, be upon you that carry this card. I do hereby declare that you are a Muslim, M-O-S-L-E-M, under the divine laws of the Holy Quran of Mecca, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Come on, man. I mean, I show you our paperwork when they say we are from the tribe of Judah, the loins of David. I mean, come on, what? I ain't got to make nothing up. I mean, come on, Moors. We playing. We going around, we lying to people. I mean, I done read it before. I'm going to read it again to you. We, the supreme grand body of the Grand Council of the Moorish Science Temple of America, grant sovereign powers by the great God Allah, which is arm, leg, arm, head. I got to break it down for you, for we can know. We ain't talking about no religion. And his illustrious prophet, Noble Drew Ali, greetings to whom it may concern. By the powers of this charter of warrant and dispensation, this supreme grand body bestow a title of nobility to member Kari Hakim Goodman Bey, that is descended from the royal house of Judah, and that the house of David. Come on, man. I mean, By the power of this decree, it is so ordered and commanded by our illustrious prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Moorish Americans are of the royal house of Judah, descendants of King David. Come on, man. Come on, man. you got to, I mean, it's just what it is. So, let's get in our prayer. Allah, which is Allah, is the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Amen. Ashe. Islam. Ayah Asha Ayah. Shalom Alakim. Ashe. I mean, Assalamu alaikum. I give all praises to all due. That's just a greeting of blessings, man. We must get into the etymology of things and get out of somebody giving us their religious connotation. I hereby inform all members that they must end all racial agitating speeches while at work or in the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, and matu, health and wealth. And when these principles are violated, justice must take its course. Come on, family. I know we agree with that. I know we agree with that. If we don't, then that's messed up. Let's put it in the atmosphere. I pray that I think peace, speak peace, and that I am peace. I pray that I think truth, speak truth, and that I am truth. I pray that I think love, that I speak love, and that I am love. I pray everything I attract, I pray everything you attract carries high, harmonious vibrations and intentions. May the light within me, may the light within you serve as a beacon for those that need it. Amen. Amen Ra. Ayah Asha Ayah. Shalom Malakim. Ashe. 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 Come on, family. We got to speak things into existence. Words mean things, family. Words mean things. Elocution, the skill of clear and expressive speech, especially of distinct pronunciation and articulation, enunciation, articulation, diction, speech, modulation, the study of formal speaking. So we just keep things in a proper perspective. So when I say Ashe, that's a Yoruba word meaning power, command, authority, the ability to make whatever one says happen. As so, or so it be, or so it is, or so mote it be, family. We put it out there. We affirm this. And when I say Shalom Alakim, that's peace be upon you. And you respond back to me, Alakim Shalom. When I say Ayah Asha Ayah, that's I will be what I will to be. Cross that in the Bible. Because we study all law. Exodus 3 and 14. See, we don't get caught up in a westernized European pseudo perspective of scripture. I tell you, it's a physical and a metaphysical part of the scriptures. So we must understand both perspectives and don't get caught up in the allegory, the symbology, the analogy. You know, the allegorical perspective. We must know both perspectives of the text. Ecclesiastes 10:19. Money trumps all. Somebody come at you with all type of negative perspectives. So we just put that in the atmosphere. I have to, man. I mean, this is the type of person I am, man. When brother just be getting, oh, what about this? Thinking you just like somebody can sell you to be a Moor. No, I tell you to study. You know, this is something that's yours. Brother be like, well, I'm just in the civics. What you talking about civics? You are the civics. We must understand certain things. So let's keep things in perspective, brothers. I just have to keep saying that over and over because I come from love, truth, and peace. And that's facts with me. So let's keep this atmosphere going because we have to put things in the atmosphere, man, because this is the vibration that I'm on. I'm on a positive vibration, man. I'm coming from no negative perspective. I tell everybody to challenge everything. If you want to challenge and research what I say, I give you all the peer-reviewed research. That's why when I used to tell brothers to come to come to my lectures, I say, brothers and sisters, please come with a pen and paper. Because if this is the first thing you hear, you're not going to know. You're going to repeat something wrong. And when I'm on a college campus doing lectures, I give all references for you can find it for yourself. I'm not just up there babbling at the mouth. That's not what this is about, family. We're here to educate, illuminate ourselves, the ones that's willing to have it. But we're supposed to teach our babies so they can come up strong and know who they are. And if it's not important to those, I'm not talking to you. And that's all I'm saying. So let's set this in the atmosphere. May the benison of Allah, which is all law, arm, leg, arm, head, YHWH, be upon you and your family always, as we all should strive to be a credit to all law. Make haste to bestow thine acts of love upon your brethren and sisters, and do our best to shun all evil ones. Remember to take suckle of the breast of knowledge, wisdom, fortitude, charity, love, and all standing. That you, that me, that us together as one, that we might nourish the souls of all men, all women, all children. Let truth be thy shield in the manifest battles of falsehood. Know that man nor woman need to pick the lock to the gates of paradise by means of criminal theft. For behold, the key to thy salvation already rests within thy own hands. And yes, even though a portion of our nature is weakness, instability, inconsistency, there is still the greater part of our nature that is divine. May Allah, which is all law, arm, leg, arm, head, may Yahweh, YHWH, the Logos, the circle in the seven, protect thee, guide us, preserve us, lengthen our age, and give us everlasting peace. Ashe, family. Ashe. We just have to keep things in the proper perspective, man. We're here to educate and illuminate. Standing on your square, just not standing with your feet funny. I'm tired of seeing brothers go, oh, I'll stand on my square. How? Because you stand with your feet out? That don't mean nothing. Because you standing with your feet out? What that mean? That don't mean nothing. Because you think you know some outward signs that you done read. That don't mean nothing. Because you don't know law. You don't even know the words. You don't even know history. You going somewhere still premature. And that's what I tell brothers, man. We must get in a right perspective. And when we in a right perspective, we come with love. And we want to know for sure. We want to do things the right way. So I'm finna get into the Black Moors and the U.S. Constitution Treaty. I want you to get into this, family. That's right. It's all perspective. But we must draw both. We must connect. And instead of building walls, build the bridges. Because some brothers try to hide knowledge. When they talk about adapt knowledge, I say, brother, do you know what adapt knowledge is? See, bro, everybody won't tell you what adapt knowledge is. But I will. I share the wisdom, man. This is for those that want it. If somebody's saying that, oh, I got to give it to you, that's Vatican. That's Father. They just sons you. That's the same religious stuff. When somebody say they your grand sheik and this, and you got that, hey, man. And they holding stuff over you, that ain't what this about, man. See, a lot of times we think we know some things, like when people say this and that. And I say, like for instance, I had a temple out here in Arizona. Brothers don't want to learn. It's all spookism. It's all a whole bunch of, I'm finna try to fill this paper out and turn it in to do this and do that. And I laugh. I have to keep it 100. I ain't going to talk about no names because that is not what I'm here for. What I come to tell brothers is if you're going to be a part of this Moorish science, you can't get it on the internet. I'm showing you. If you don't put it orally, that's great. Should you go through it the right way? Am I saying it? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because you don't have to be a part of any temple. Just like a relationship or anything you get in, you get into things that's the right. When I say type. When I say everything has a type, words has a type, people have a type. So you have to get into a type. And I agree with you, brother, to the perspective the priesthood is dead. In certain perspectives, but not us all, because a lot of us are, we just humble when we undercover and we come out because people ask us to and be like, I'm humble, man. I don't come from no perspective of trying to tell nobody to be like me or do as I say. What I tell brothers and sisters to do is study and study and study and study. And once you study and understand who you are, that's orally. And that's great. The next perspective, should you get identification cards to be a more? I say yes. I say yes. And like I said, I don't have to be right. Is it another level? Yes, it's another level. When I showed you with the United Nations, everybody had the right of a nationality and to change it. And the claim of child replaces the birth certificate. That's United Nations law. So that's what I say, even not knowing the law, when you in court, what it says. That is not an excuse of not knowing the law. You should have done your due diligence. That's all I'll be saying. You should do your due diligence. I'm not here to argue with no one. When a person is talking prematurely, I step away. Well, see, brother, man, I like for you. That's a good thing, man. Who different degrees? See, brother, and that's the thing. When brothers say degrees, it shouldn't even be this science. If you in the temple, man, everybody, all brethren. When we talk about degrees, if it's what you want, you come together. Because it's just not reading. It's a lifestyle, man. It's a way. It's a total 720. And brother, and that's what I tell brothers, man. It's not about just reading some adapt literature, man. Screw this paper, man. Where brothers be talking about they be doing their rituals, going to get candles and all that. I said, you acting like a Christian. So you think the power in that stuff and the power supposed to be you? You don't have to have none of that stuff about you. You can have a stick, some dirt, and break all that down. You understand? Because it's you. It's you. You are the vessel. You are the vessel. People tell you, go get this and go get this, but it's nothing attached to them. So none of that stuff you go get means nothing. Because if the vessel right, you can make anything holy. Come on, man. That's what all this about. The great architect is man. I mean, I break it down in my ultimate man chart. I'm getting it blew up real fast. I got it on my wall. Matter of fact, I'll take my time and I'll grab it down for you. Because I don't know where my other one went. Hold on. Oh, let me see. I might can't take it down. I might got it up too there. I might got it up too high, y'all. But anyway, I'll come back from it. I'll give it to you another day. I can't get it down off the wall. Man, wait, let me see. And then my brother like, please get it down. We'll wait. Dang, he crazy. My bro like, please get it down and we'll wait. All right, hold on, man. That's crazy. That is funny. Hold on. You crazy, bro. I ripped it a little bit, but I'm getting it blew up. Oh, my brother like, hold that up, please, for him. I'm getting it blew up real big. And let me show you one more thing. You see what I'm saying? You see, and once you understand self, then you build under other things because you have to know who you are. It's man. I'm telling you, the tabernacle built without hands is you, it's me. I'm telling you, brothers and sisters. I mean, you. I'm telling you, I'm gonna break all this down. This is meant. The tabernacle built without hands is you, man. I'm telling you. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this blue up real big for you. I'm gonna get it big. I have so many charts. Family, let me show you something. Let me show you some science. I teach from charts. This is something that I've been doing all my life. My parents study metaphysics. I grew up in this. Like I said, I had to go through all dispensations. Let me show you something. These one of the charts I teach on. When we talk about what carnal honors is, when I go into the churches, when I explain things to my brothers and sisters, because I'm just here as a teacher. I've been through all the elements. I'm a minister of all gospels. And the scripture says you don't supposed to be a minister. So I say I teach from the right perspective and show you this is what it's about. We must know both perspectives and get out of spookism. Get out of religious dogma. That's all. Understanding what these charts really mean is your brain. All about the man. Has nothing to do with you thinking something outside of yourself. Panoramic vision. I'm telling you, man. This is the stuff that we teach. We study all law and we study civics. These are all the different dispensations when I prepare the scriptures to the brain. It's just teaching, man. Stuff when people try to hide stuff from us. I say, nah, man, that ain't what we here to do, man. We here to teach. We here to teach. But it's those that want to be taught. Everybody don't want to be taught, and they don't have to. And I tell brothers and sisters, I'm not for everybody. And that's okay. A lot of my family, they caught up in religious dogma. I'm not for them. Just flat out. I just get into the essence of all things, man. That's all. I thought I had 5 of them, but I didn't. But anyway, family, that was just a little bit. For sure, fam. But let me just get into a little bit of this, man. Into this little this treaty, just a little bit. And then I'll just challenge you to research it for yourself. Because a lot of people, I've seen some things happen in Philadelphia when they said, that Moors were free men, Moorish Americans. And I saw that today, and I was like, that's a great thing. What I'm challenging is all the other Moors in other states and their temples. Are their so-called sheiks putting that on paper? When brothers telling you to do things that make no sense, like driving without license and doing other things. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I challenge. I challenge brothers in the temples. The way the brothers in Philadelphia put that on alert, the right way by abiding the law. Said that they were not Negroes, that the Moors were free Americans, were Moorish Americans. If that's what it is, why not all the temples doing that in their states? Somebody say yes, somebody say something to me, please. Because all I see brothers doing is just liking stuff. And that's the thing I say I'm not about. I do things, and like what I'm working on out here in Arizona and back home in my state is the exact same thing. And what I'm finding out is, yes, we are law-abiding citizens. Yes, we are free men. I tell you, a lot of brothers came here from on a slave ship from Judah. But if you follow my lectures, I give you, Judah had 4 different names. Kwahuda, Judah, Wahuda, and I forget the other name. I think it started with an A or L. I got it in my research. I did a lecture on it on campus, and I just shared the information of the day. But if anybody want to know the last name, I'll get it out of my study and give it to you. But that's what I'm challenging brothers in the temple. I know a couple brothers that call themselves sheiks. And I say, brothers, a lot of things I be talking about, they're like, well, brother, man, we want a whole nother level. I say, no, I'm not. I say, this is what's supposed to be going on in the temples. And if we're not willing to share that, hey, man, that's kind of messed up to me. Got brothers out navigating on the earth plane with a fail zone, not knowing nothing. Not and when I speak to them and when I greet them and brother be like, oh, I went through the adapt chamber. I'm like, okay, what you talking about? What you mean you ain't went through no adapt chamber? Man, stop that. That's nonsense, man. You know when you're ready. They're just like in the Christian church when the churches be looking for preachers, they say, or they have preaching there, or he not ready. And all that. That's the same thing. What man gonna tell a man he not ready? That's why I said this is a within thing, and you would know you ready. You would be illuminating because you under the right auspice. That's why I says it's only a few that get there because everybody's not willing to study. That's all. That's all it is. That's all I tell brothers. Is when brother be like, well, how can I say, man, I can't, man, look, I'm not there. I continue to grow in this. I'm a student in this. That's why I say I love what I do. I put my money where my mouth is. I say, this is what it's about. This is success. So let's get into this little constitution and this treaty, and then we're going to get into this Israel. If it go off, log back on. But the settlers to the lands of the United States, they befriended the Moors and even had a peace treaty with them. And you can research this for yourself. You know what I mean? Just go. You can study with this. It's certain peace treaties that go along. And like I tell brothers, I'm not here to go with nobody's side. I'm not here to argue with nobody. I'm not here to come from nobody's perspective. You come from your own. That's great. I'm not here to argue with nobody because that's all what's in our society is brothers saying we correcting each other. But then when I say build, no brothers is building. So that's the part I say, brothers, they say they studying, and that's great, and all we're doing is arguing with each other. And that's the sad perspective of it. And if we're going to teach, well, let everybody teach and come with the wisdom, come with the knowledge. Everybody come together. Everybody break out and say this is what it is instead of saying, well, it's this and I know this and I have something that you don't have. Share it. That's what I'm saying with the society, what we're doing. And it's just like the civil rights. If everybody would have came together, Noble Drew Ali, all the brothers back then, and everybody wouldn't be coming from their ego or trying to correct a brother, this would have already been there. This already would have been there. But see, we get brothers that try to come from perspective instead of coming and standing and building and say, hey, brother, let's do this. And hey, have you looked at it at this perspective? Nobody is wrong. And that's the problem I have with brothers. And I say we still coming from a lower perspective. Brother, still coming from a 360 perspective. And that's what I'm saying. When brothers say, and when we come from a negative connotation with our brothers, it's sad. And that's what I say. No one is wrong. And that's the thing about history. No one is wrong. How can a person be wrong about history if a person is going on, if a person is on a journey, and you can prove and you can show everything with document, no one is wrong. A person is just not there yet. And that's sad with our community, man. It's sad. It's sad with our brothers. And I'm gonna continue to say it it's just what it is. It's just what it is, family. And I stand on that because I stand as a soldier on my own. Flat out. I see so many brothers, just saying things. And I say, well, show and tell. If it's what it is, put it out there. And they don't. And I know why they don't. Because they don't know. They heard. And that's still what I tell brothers. That's subjective. That's arbitrary. That's subjective and arbitrary. Show and tell. We can't. And those are negative vibrations, family. I just have to put things out there. Hey, honey. But those are negative vibrations. So I'm going to get into Israel and I'm going to get into the other one later. But when we come from negative vibration, it's sad. I stand on that again. And when brothers say we know not by being told, that's both perspectives, and I challenge that. You must have both. It's an interrelationship. I keep talking about the 360 and 720. Where are brothers? I just showed you the map, brother. These are both perspectives. You must have both manifestations. 360 is the sum of material wisdom, but 720 is the total sum of material and spiritual. You must have both. I mean, I still don't understand, because we get into trying to prove who's wrong and who's right. And no one is right, man. Right? If you study the 7 Kemetic principles, that's why I be laughing at brothers, and I come from love, because brothers don't even know about duality. When they say they don't study, and I say, well, if you study, you study. Don't you know the 7 Kemetic principles? If you did, you understand where I'm coming from. If not, like I say, I challenge you to continue to study. I challenge you to continue to study. Because if brothers saying that, and I say, well, do you know what the 7 Kemetic principles is? And I say, break them down. They don't. So I'm done. There's no reason to go there. You still on one level. When brothers be talking about this and that, and I say, well, what's the Kemetic principles? What we study in our science? What is this all about? See? Sad, man. Sad. My brother like, man, teach. No, it just sometimes, man, we must do what we supposed to do. And I say, that's why I'm not here to challenge no one. And I'm not here to be challenged. All I tell brothers be like, and I'm just saying, in my perspective, I say, man, that's great, but have you ever read this? And here's the research, here is there. And so I help a brother get there. When I say, I just don't give a person a fish, I show them how to fish, for they can show somebody else to do it. That's what a master craftsman is. A master craftsman is, he can show himself, he break it down, he build it back up, he can show his brethren how to do it. He don't look at his brethren in a bashful way. He look at his brother and say, hey, brother, I can show you how to build. See? And if not, we act just like the religious people. Let's act like we know something better than our brother, and we all walk around with this fez on. We all calling ourselves Moorish Americans. See? And we want to act like we're supposed to know something better than somebody else. And when we in the unity, we supposed to stand on all. We all supposed to stand as one. That's a vibration. That's how the Egyptians did things. Don't you know? We do things on frequency. What frequency you on? What vibration are you vibrating on? That's what I'm telling about. That's why I say every morning on your vibration. Just because a brother have a fez on, it doesn't mean nothing. We must understand this. It's about vibrations, and we must be willing to be taught. We must be willing to be educated and have wisdom by our own brethren. And that's sad. I got to keep going there, man. Because, when a negative vibration comes, because I'm spiritual. My brother was murdered by a Negro. I keep it 100. I'm spiritual all the way. I'm spiritual. If I wasn't spiritual, I'd already been dead. I'd already be in prison. Because I would have took a whole bunch of people out. My brother was murdered when he was 25. I seen my brother murdered. So when them negative spirits come at me, I back off, man. Because like I said, just because brothers have a fez on, I deal with vibrations, and I step off and I pause. And I give that love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, health, and I back away from brothers. And I let that how it be. But the spirit that you was coming from, brother, it kind of touched my spirit, and it came from a combative way. And like I said, brother, I have to pull that out, or I'll be remiss if I didn't come to you and have that on me. So I'm coming to you, brother, as like, hey, nah, fam, if you got something, you got some wisdom, put it out there. If not, shut it down. Shut it down. If you got some wisdom to share it with the people, because there's people on here, bring it out. And I'll wait. I won't even go no farther. I'll wait until you put the wisdom out there for us. For we can give you 2 claps like, yeah, brother, that's what we appreciate. Because I'm here to illuminate and enlighten brothers. I ain't here to combat brothers. I ain't here to argue. I ain't here to debate with nobody. So let's see the wisdom. I mean, because it's a few mores on here. Come on, and when I tell brother, when they be talking about law, all law, we in the court of law. You just accuse me of something. So I'm standing like, okay, if you accuse me something or something that I said prematurely, I'm giving you my research and my documents. Come with it. And see, and that's what I be saying, man. We just be rambling, and that's not what it's about. We be telling brother this to try to get people with our silver tongue or eloquent or some outside of ourselves that might capture somebody, maybe the pageantry. But that ain't what this about, family. This is a study. So if we have something, we don't do things in clandestine. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? I looked the word up. That's in secret. Like the European nations do. That word Allah, Islam, they do things in secret because it's a religion and politics. So if you got something you holding from the brothers, man, what's that? Same thing. Same thing. Clandestine. Come on, talk to me. I mean, yeah, clandestine. That's all I be saying, man. And that's what happened when brothers say they have this and have this. And I say, brother, well, we family, we love. Let's sit down. I come with my paper. I ain't coming on no premature just because I got on the fence like I ain't. Hey, I know who I am. If you know who you are, if we coming with love, let's help each other. If not, we doing the same thing. We acting like we got something and can't share with our brother. And that's what a lot of people that be asking me about Moorish American and the science thing, they be like, well, why do Moors be acting like European Masons? Acting like it's a secret. And I say, I don't have no secret. I sit down and talk to brothers and sisters all day. On the university, at the Boys and Girls Club, at the YMCA, I wear my fez everywhere. Not just on no Facebook. Flat out, you see me everywhere with my fez on. Airport, everywhere. Everywhere. Or a bonnet on, that's in the scriptures, not a kufi. You look all in the scriptures, it's called a bonnet. Turban. I show you in the history, the turban was worn by brothers of the East, spiritual brothers of the East. Simple research. You know, but it's sad, man. You know, it's sad how we do each other, man, in our community. And when we say we sit by wise men and we learn, well, who are the wise men? Because I tell brother, I don't put no title on me. I'm not no sheep. I'm not none of that. I'm a teacher. I teach anybody that want to know. I teach all law. This ain't no YouTube university. This ain't no Google University with me. But in etymology, Israel, and I challenge everybody because we're talking about context and not linguistic apartheid. So keep it in the right perspective. So let's keep this in the right context, and let's not get caught up in linguistic apartheid. Let's dig. But the Israel, the part of the name Israel, the Israelites, the following of the Judaic religion, refers to the root meaning of compound words, things added together. Added together, family. Let's remember that, added together. Namely the Egyptian gods, Isis, right? Rescripted as Sarah. That's what things that when we like Sarah. Come on, man. All in the Apocrypha, everything when people, man, it's just things that maybe haven't been introduced to everybody yet, and brothers say it's some big secret, and it's not. when we talk about what's the European name? Manly P. Hall and all them when we think they know something, and Adam Blavatsky, the secret doctrines. When we talk about all that, and I tell you they was all studied by Bays, by Moors. I mean, this the stuff I'm talking about. When you know how to operate in a higher self, when you can draw things to you. This is what I'm talking about, the essence, man. And I'm gonna give you research and books and documents where you can look at it for yourself. Though I'm not here to, like I said, to convert no one. I just know how I operate. And it made a difference in me and what's around me. But namely the Egyptian god Isis, rescripted as Sarah, and Ra, rescripted as Abraham, and the Canaanite god El, rendered as Lord in the Old Testament. And this is just things that was in study. These are things that's in the doctoral library. And I'm going to give it to you. Like I say, you got to remember when I do research, brothers, I say, you got to look at the context and perspective. I'm not here promulgating no religious perspective. I'm not here to convert no one. I am a teacher and a researcher. I know who I am. I challenge you to know who you are. But in 1791, Constantine Vonley, Volney, in the ruins, a survey of the revolutions of empires, citing the Isis and the Osiris descriptions of Plutarch and the previous work of Charles Dupius, Dupius, stated as a matter of fact that the God of Moses was Egyptian. Research. The assertion was quickly attacked by Joseph Presley in 1797 and thereby run amok. These type of dangerous assertions, in short, were quickly subfuted or denied. The personal correspondence between the second and the third American president testifies to this. We think ourselves possessed, or at least we boast that we are so, of liberty, of conscience, on all subjects. Yet, how far are we from the exalt privileges? In fact, there exists, I believe, throughout the whole Christian world, a law which makes it blasphemy to deny our doubt the divine inspiration of all the books of the Old and the New Testament, from Genesis to Revelation. Who will run the risk of translating Dupius? These were the questions. Remember, this is research, not me. That's why I tell brothers, you come from the wrong vibration. When we do research, brothers, when I do things like, oh, you don't agree with everything, you're supposed to navigate and figure out what's right and what's good, just like in the biblical text. When in the biblical text, when I tell you there's no curse of Ham, when I tell you the genealogy of Yahshua Messiah, you must know what perspectives I'm coming from. And when you do research, you must understand. You must be willing to be taught instead of be willing to shoot the gun. In 1858, Samuel Dunlap, in his Vegestes of Spirit of Man, citing Franz Movers, 1841, he stated that the Hebrews were the first to turn the ancient sun gods into patriarchs, therein meditating a deification or God reduction. In this way, antiquity disposed of its sun gods. The Hebrew turned the sun gods into patriarchs. Adam, Abraham, Israel were names of Saturn. Edom is Adam, and the ancient usage was the name of the nation, the land of the city, after the chief god. The Greeks made these deities founders of the tribes. Peace, fam. Love you too, bro. And it be on YouTube, brother. Love you, man. Positive vibrations. Positive vibration to your whole family, brother. But in 1884, Helen Blavatsky, where brothers be like, oh, have you ever heard of Helen Blavatsky? I'll be like, brother, Helen Blavatsky studied from the Bays. Research, she'll tell you. That's why I said they're pen to tell you who they are. But in volume 2 of her Isis Unveiled, citing Dutch Egyptologist Willie Plight, 1836 and 1903, on El and Hodder Westropp and Wake Stanland on Phalasm, stated the following view. El, the sun god of Sirens, Syrians, the Egyptians, and the Semites, is declared by Plight to be no other than Set or Seth, and El is the primeval or the primeval. Saturn, Israel, Siva, is an Ethiopian god, the same as the Chaldean Baal, Baal, or Bel. Thus he is also Saturn. Saturn, El, Seth, and Chium, or the biblical Chium, Chium, or Amos, are all one and the same deity, and may be all regarded in the worst aspect by Typhon or Set, the destroyer. When the religious pantheon assumed a more defiant expression, Typhon was separated from his androgen, the good deity, and fell into degradation as a brutal, unintellectual power. Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't see. Sorry, sis. Sorry, my queen. I am so sorry. I won't even look at. I apologize, my sister and queen. Peace and blessings to you. Don't blame it on my brain, man. Don't blame it to me. I've been up since like 5 o'clock this morning. I am so sorry. But in 1927, Thomas Spivey, and I hope you're writing this down, because when I do lectures on the college campus, everybody have a pen. That's why I be laughing at brothers. I said, I know nobody have a pen, because then when they say something, I'm like, that ain't what I said. And all this got to be new. But in 1927, Thomas Spivey, in his Christianity and Mythology, after stating that El means God, this was on page 44, was summarized. The Israel etymology on pages 45 as follows. Is equal light, plus Ra equals sun, plus El equals first cause. Israel, the church of God. Hence is the church of God which goes forth to upsert the power and control of established governments. And the church of God rewards the Jews or the Hebrews for support by giving them control over Canaan, merchandising their trading. I'm just giving you the story. And I'm just giving you the story. In 1935, Spivey, in his The Awakening of the Sixth Sense, state the Israel etymology as follows. The prophet whom is so important to vindicate is I-A-IAH, Isaiah. The is, the is, means light. Israel is the light of Ra, the sun, is El, the first cause. The Hebrew express, Isis and Jesse. And see, when I was doing this a lecture on college campus, I have a lot of professors that's English professors. And like I said, I had to study all law when I was doing my master's, when I did my dissertation. And I was talking about linguistic apartheid, and I was talking about westernized perspective of words. And when he was trying to get us caught up out of context, when he was saying Mississippi, where's IS in Mississippi? And I say that's right, but that's out of context. And you never can get me caught up in linguistic apartheid. And he shut it down. So I just keep it thinking in a proper perspective, saying, yes, it's two sides to everything, but that's not the right perspective. But we about to go out, family. If y'all want to hear more, I'm going to log back on. I got 20 seconds. I'm going to log back on to finish this up, and we out. So I'm finna end it. Peace. All right, so let's finish this up. Let's finish this up. We almost done. So I hope you got your pen so you can do your own research and look up these references, please. And so where I was at. Okay. Where I was at. Let me get back. Let me see where I was at. Okay, hold on. Let me get back. Trading, awakening. Okay, the problem. Blah, 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 blah. Islam, family. Islam. But the prophet whom it is so important to vindicate is Isaiah. It means light. Israel is. Okay, I gave you all that. Okay, I gave you that. Okay, in 1956, Hilton Hotema, Hilton Hotema, in his Ancient Sun God, building on Samuel Dunlap in 1858, devoted an entire chapter to Abraham, A-B-R-A-M, the A-B-R-A-M, the sun god, in which he cites Dunlap as having said the following, heightness included. The fire god of was Abram. The Hebrew word Ab or Abe means father, and Ram, head sign of the zodiac, means most high. Abraham and Israel were names of Saturn. In 2000, Jordan Maxwell, I know brothers be quoting him a lot. I'll be like, yeah, okay. Who in the solar cult, he listed Hilton Hotema as his sixth recommended reading scholar. Israel, in his video and lecture and his question and answers, he gives a fairly cogent synopsis of how, in his view, Judaism was formed by the migration process, wherein the Phoenician Canaanites or the Hebrews, with their embedded religion of the Isis cult and the Amen-Ra religion, moved north and encountered the Palestine god El, who Maxwell defines as the planet Saturn. That's what, and that's the perspective. This is the research that I'm giving you, the stuff that you can research from yourself. Because I wasn't alive back then. I have elders, and that's what I tell brothers. I say, if your elder is I have elders that's 78 years old. Lived a long time. Not coming from no religious dogma. But the word Israel is another representation of the past themes. Isis was the Egyptian moon goddess. Ra was the sun god of Egypt. Saturn was the god of Elohim. Isis is Ra, and Elohim, El, Israel. The connection between Saturn, as defined in Greco-Roman mythology, itself a morph of Egyptian mythology, and El, as reconceptualized in Canaanite mythology, to note is a subject to be clarified further, family. We also must have a discussion about Dunlap in 1858, in the above statement, in his The Hebrews, were the first to turn gods into patriarchs. It gives a fairly explanation and oft unspoken statement. It takes some time to decode the fact that Ra, the main Egyptian sun god, was turned via a rewrite into the character Abraham, the main patriarch of the Judaic Christian Islamic religion, or that Nun, the main Egyptian primordial god, conceptualized as the chaotic waters that exist at the start of the creation, became the character of Noah, or Nuh, as he is called in Islam. Wallace Budge in 1904, of note, calls this process of making a monotheism out of a Platonism, or a God reduction, changing gods into prophets. In short, reduces the number of previously believed in gods, while at the same time keeping the established religion. Who is there that does not know that the vapor of the sun is kindled by the rising of the dog star Sirius? The most powerful effects are felt on the earth from the star. When it rises, the seas are troubled, family. The wines in the cellars ferment, and stagnant waters are set in motion, family. There is a wild beast named by the Egyptians Oryx, which, when the stars rise, family, is said to stand opposite, to look steadfastly at it, and to sneeze as if it were worshiping it. There is no doubt that dogs during the whole of this period are peculiarly disposed to become ratted at this time. The rising of the dog star. It's just certain things that we must get in metaphysically and embedded in ourselves and in our hippocampus. Like in the Jewish Bible, it took the sun, which is Ra, the star Sirius, Iris, and the annual Nile flood, Nun, and rewrote this into marriage of Abraham, the Ra and the sun, and Sarah, Isis, Cyrus, who are born from Noah, or Nun, or the Nile River, after the biblical flood, family. The followers of this new Egyptian modified by adding in El and other gods, like Aten, Aten. Religion accordingly came to be known as the Israelites. I mean, Israelites. You follow me, family? And their main religious center called Israel, similar to how Helopius used to be known. And you can see the Helopius creation myth. Research that. In Egypt, as the city of the sun, or what is known as the center of Ra worship. Now, on the relationship, family, between Israel, Elitish, that story, whether it's older or in its more recent form, an Egyptian myth, not much needed here to be said. In very early and probably pre-Israelitish times, Egyptian may have had considerably religious influence on the land of Canaan and Palestine. And it would be easy to indicate points of affinity between the Egyptian cosmology and its genesis, the conception of primeval, watery envelopes of all things, all that of creation by a word. Also the story of the conflict between Re or Ra, the sun god, and the gigantic dragon, Apibi or Apopi, Apopi. Remind us of forcibly of the Babylonian and in the wise sense of the Hebrew cosmology. So there's just things we must understand, family. You can find, I gave you some references. If you want more references, you can look up Mower's Friends, The Phoenicians, Volume 1. You can look up W.F., 1856, The Vegetables of the Spirit, History of Man. Maxwell Jordan, Withrop Holder, Phallic Worship. I mean, it's so much. This is stuff that's in a doctoral library. When I tell brothers, study. And when you think you know something, study some more. But I was going to go over this treaty, but I have to go over this over another day because it's not the right time. I was going to go over it, but just it wasn't the right vibration. So I'll go over this later. Some brothers might know. And if brothers in the temple, you should go over this. Because something happened in Philadelphia, and I'm asking my brothers that's Moors that's in the temple, do they know what it is and it happened? And are they setting on notice with their mayor's office? When brothers say they're in temples, that's all I'm asking. When I say if we are unity, if brothers are Moors and they say they sheiks, which is great, are we doing the same thing all over with the temples? Because some heroic thing happened in Philadelphia. So I love you all. Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, health, and wealth. Peace.